obviously missed the spring.
Hmm.
Well, that was more of a maintenance, get him ready kind of thing, or that was
No, I mean he had a postseason repair.
he did. Okay.
Yeah, and so it was just taking our time with the protocol. And he had a lot of things when he got here, from his wrist to his hamstring to his hip, and we just wanted to get him right going into fall camp.
How does he look to
Good.
you
So far, so good.
from the other workouts or
A
from
lot different.
Thunder's reports or
A lot different because
yeah?
when you come in with he had a broken bone in his hand, so he couldn't lift upper body, and then he had his hip and his hamstring. So we were always limiting him in the weight room. Where now he's doing everything that everybody's doing, and he's gotten up to almost 215 pounds. So he looks good.
Weight wise, you mean?
Yeah,
Two
he's
fifteen.
gained weight and he's training. He looks good.
And you didn't have him for a lot of camp last year either. Like he was banged up.
In and
Even,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not to jinx him at all, but just the value of for him just to be able to practice and go through.
Well, he's our most experienced back. So I mean that's the oldest guy we got. So it's huge having him in there.
How has Penix transformed himself from being, we thought, the big back in the spring to now the fastest back possibly?
Yeah. So far I haven't really been able to see that. He hasn't gotten out, on any of his runs just because the defense was in the right place. But he's trained hard. He's trained really hard. And so I'm excited, to see where that goes here when we get into our special teams and some of the plays where you can get him out in space and see if it transfers.
You can never have enough running backs. I mean,
No.
obviously Bam got a lot of work in the spring. How do you lose Reggie, but it's almost become old hat that you've been able to replace running backs.
Yeah.
How do you kind of feel about the group?
Well, I think it's the deepest group I've had. You take Bam, Jordan Houston, Delbert Mims, there's 3 new guys, and then Trent and Ricky we already talked about. So you got 5 guys back there that can play, and just need to get them a ton of reps now.
The one thing you knew for sure last year is anytime it was third and short, Reggie with power.
Right.
Who do you think can be that guy?
I'm assuming it'll be Ricky or Trent in that role, but we'll see. I mean, Delbert's a thick kid too. You just don't want to expect that from a freshman quite yet.
Running back, when you think of like the last 15 years, I mean, you had, it's not like Ron Dane would get the ball like 40 times.
Right.
Like that would almost be like abuse these days, where no one would even dream of giving the ball to only one back. Now, how have you kind of seen that position evolve, where you almost need like 3 guys who are starter quality?
Well, there's more reps happening now than there used to be too. Everyone used to huddle on both sides of the football, and the game was shorter, and it's different. I mean, you're getting 70 to 80 plays a game on both sides of the football, so you need more body types, and offenses have obviously evolved since then as well. I mean, really in today's game, A.J. Dillon might be the only guy that's like that, that's just carrying the ball 25 to 30 times a game, and he's built that way.
You mentioned Houston yesterday. He's been kind of typecast as a scat back, but it sounds like he could be a little bit more than that.
Yeah, he's really good out of the backfield too. He's a good receiver. He's impressive in every rep he gets. You can see, he's quick. He has good vision. He's explosive. He's got chip on his shoulder. I like watching him play.
Reggie Gillespie was roommates with McGirt at one point. Obviously, I think same recruiting class.
Yeah.
And Reggie did play a lot his first few years, but kind of McGirt's had some of that, the injuries, the things that have happened.
Right.
You ever talk to him about some of the past seniors who had a big year like Reggie did last year?
Absolutely.
To kind of motivate him?
Yeah, and he knows that. He'll tell you that. But I think those kind of storylines, Roseboro was another guy like that was kind of in the back and then moved himself up to the front as a senior. And, I'm proud of Emmanuel. He's worked really hard.
Your running game last year, you have said before, you kind of pass for show and then you run to win. Your running game last year, it kind of came on at the end, but you weren't playing the greatest teams ever at the end of last year. How did you kind of evaluate? And you had a 1,000-yard rusher, but still, I think you're ranked in the hundreds in actual yards per attempt. So that's probably something you looked at in order to tweak or to slash improve.
And I also think we played to our strengths, with our receiving core that we had and Ryan's arm. So we didn't run the ball as much either as we had in the past. And so the numbers are going to go down just because of the attempts per run. But yeah, I mean, I think you have to play to your strengths on offense, and not that we couldn't run it, but we had some really good wide receivers. And Ryan had great timing with those guys, and we want to take advantage of that.
Make adjustments with the left-handed group.
You do.
Is that
Yeah, and it a little bit depends on him, you know, how well he moves to the right and throws to the right, you know, if you're going to run bootlegs and sprint outs and things like that. But, I mean, obviously you're going to throw the ball better moving the direction of your arm most of the time. I mean, so you just have to see what he can do opposite, you know, and then you build it off of that.
You flip the tackles.
No.